There's a certain adventure in finding something at the thrift store and turning it into something new. Today, I'm taking a soft corduroy shirt I found at the thrift store and transforming it into a sweet little baby romper, and then a cuddly kangaroo toy. I hope you'll find a cozy spot to share with me as we make these projects from start to finish. I recently picked up this men's shirt from the thrift store. It's a nice and soft corduroy, and today I'm going to see just how many things I can make out of it. The first thing I'd like to make is a little baby romper. Since I plan to lay an existing baby outfit to use as a sizing guide, I need to go ahead and move the pocket on this shirt out of the way. I'll set it aside and reattach it to the romper once it's finished. This baby romper is simple to make. Button up your shirt and smooth it out on the table. Lay an existing baby romper in the center of the buttons and trace around the romper, leaving an extra 2 inches of space between the romper and your line. Leaving the extra space gives you room to have a seam allowance, and also gives you a little room for error so that you can even it all out after cutting it out. We're going to want to trace a nice flat edge at the top of the shoulders and a nice curved line for the armholes if you're making a sleeveless version like I am. I have also seen people draft these little rompers by using a baby shirt and pants to get the sizing needed, instead of a pair of pajamas like I'm using. If you use a shirt and pants, just be sure to line them both up in a way that will get the size you need, and be sure to still leave yourself that extra 2 inches of space around the clothes. You will also want to replicate this triangular gusset at the crotch of the pants. Lay your romper pieces right sides together. Sew the shoulders together, then the sides, and lastly the insides of the legs, attaching the triangular gusset piece in the center. Turn the romper right side out and attach some bias tape to the armholes and neck. Fold the bottoms of the legs over twice to hem them. I folded the sides of the pocket in a little to make it small enough to be reattached to the front of the romper. Reattaching the pocket to the romper added a cute touch and helped hide the little stitching holes that were left behind when I initially removed the pocket from the shirt. I decided to do French seams for this little romper. I love how easy this romper ended up being. I can see it taking not very much time to make a bunch of little rompers this way if you had a pile of old button-up shirts that are no longer wanted or worn. The romper ended up fitting perfectly and looked like it was very comfortable to wear. I love when projects turn out, especially when it's something I've never made before. That definitely does not always happen. I'm usually tearing out stitches or starting over for one reason or another when trying something new, so I was very pleased that this little outfit ended up fitting nicely. I still had quite a bit of leftover fabric from this shirt, so I decided to make something else from it. I thought this shade of brown would make the perfect kangaroo. You can print out this pattern for free on my blog. I'll leave a link down in the description for it. Cut out your pattern pieces and trace them onto your fabric. You'll also want to use 2 pieces of interfacing for each ear, a contrasting fabric for the inner ear, and a bit of lining for the inside of the kangaroo's pouch. I used featherweight interfacing, a soft cotton velvet for the inner ears, and I used a cute bedtime printed flannel for the inside of the pouch. Iron your pieces and iron the interfacing onto your ears. You'll want to attach a piece of interfacing onto the back of each ear and onto each inner ear. You'll do the same for the little Joey. Iron all of your pieces. The body of the kangaroo is made up of 3 pieces, 2 sides, and a gusset that runs from the tip of the nose down the back and all the way to the rear of the kangaroo. Sew the sides of the body right sides together from the tip of the nose down to the bottom front of the body. Sew the dart at the bottom of the gusset. Then sew the gusset to each side of the body. Leave a little opening at the bottom of the body so you can turn it right side out and stuff it. I like to stuff just a little bit of the head to see what shape it takes, and then attach a pair of safety eyes and a safety nose. You can also simply embroider some eyes and a nose onto your kangaroo, but I would wait to do that until the very end of this project. After stuffing the body, hand sew the opening closed. The arms and legs are made by sewing the pieces right sides together all the way around. Then you'll cut a little hole through one layer of fabric at where a shoulder or hip joint would be. Pay close attention when doing this to the arms and the legs. Cut one limb, then closely examine both arms or legs before cutting the second hole, because you'll want to cut the opposite side for a second limb, so that both arms and both legs are facing forward when you attach them to your kangaroo. Use the holes to turn each arm and leg right side out, then stuff them tightly before using a hand sewing needle to sew the hole closed. You'll want to use a hand sewing needle to attach the arms and legs to the body of your kangaroo, sewing a little circle all the way around each sewn up joint hole. I used a ladder stitch for this part. To sew the tail of your kangaroo, sew each side together from the long top edge to the tip of the tail, then sew the gusset to the bottom of the tail. Turn right side out and stuff. Leave the opening open, as it will keep the tail in a nice round shape when you sew it to the kangaroo's body. Sew the ears right sides together. When you hand sew these to the top of your kangaroo's head, you'll want to fold the raw edge of the ears to the inside of the ear while sewing around. You'll attach the tail of your kangaroo in the same way. To make the pouch, sew the outer piece and lining piece right sides together, leaving a bit of the top edge open for turning it right side out. Fold in the remaining opening and sew closed. Then sew the dart at the bottom of the pouch. I used some 1/4 inch elastic to attach to the top of the pouch to make a nice and stretchy opening, and I attached it to the kangaroo's belly by hand. This mama kangaroo needs a little joey for her pouch, and I still had a little leftover fabric from the shirt, so I made her a little baby too. This joey is made in the exact same way as its mama, except that you'll likely want to do some of the sewing by hand since some of the pieces are tiny. I sewed the ears by hand and used a pencil to help me turn them out. And just like that, one soft and worn shirt became a romper for a tiny human and a cozy kangaroo friend with a joey in her pouch. It's a reminder that special things don't have to come from new materials to be cherished. Sometimes they're already waiting in your closet or at your local thrift store. Thank you for spending time with me here on Quiet Life Farm. I hope this inspires you to pick up your needle, slow down, and make something sweet.